Influence here, and today I want to talk about Transformers and M.A.S.K. Now, throughout the years, people have always wanted these franchises to combine or to cross over. Along with G.I. Joe, I know a lot of people wanted G.I. Joe to cross over, and they have throughout the years. And this is what this video is going to be about. Just want to talk about a little bit with the resurgence of M.A.S.K. coming. You know, with Ramen Toy doing their thing, loyal subjects have just put out their pre-orders, which they're doing the 1-for-1, the M.A.S.K, just like they were back in the day, just a little bit more expensive. But yeah, I just and I see it coming up every now and then. Just people are asked like, man, why ain't they ever doing any crossovers? Well, they did. Subscribe. So let's get into it.
Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe. I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
People always associated these properties together because Transformers came out in 1984, M.A.S.K came out in 1985, so it's just kind of just has been organically, you know, a part of a certain demographic's childhood. Anybody born in, you know, in the 80s or anybody born in the 70s like me. Yeah, I'm old, but you know, they anybody that grew up with these cartoons, they've always had similar bloodlines with the trucks and M.A.S.K. Of course, Transformers, you know, they transform into cars and robots, but M.A.S.K had transforming vehicles that kind of seemed similar. So in 1991, Hasbro bought Kenner because the two properties are two different people, Kenner and Hasbro. Of course, Hasbro had Transformers, Kenner had M.A.S.K. They acquired Kenner in 1991. Now, I researched a lot of stuff, but of course, I could be wrong. The sources I used could be wrong. I cross-checked sources. I didn't just rely on Google. You know, when I found some information, I cross-checked it. But I could be wrong. Of course, the sources couldn't be wrong, as the internet does. So just let me know if you know anything better. But I can't find anything where they crossed over before 2016. So in 2016, they had IDW, a whole universe where it was a Revolution comic. And it had G.I. Joe, M.A.S.K, and Transformers all into one. The tech was explained as being, the M.A.S.K tech was explained as being derivative of Transformers and Cybertronian technology. So I thought that was dope that they did that. I didn't read that comic. I don't know how great it is or not, but you can check that out. It's Revolution. It's 2016 IDW. And then I found that in Transformers Prime and RID, they had a division of M.A.S.K was part of the U.S. military in the lore. So I thought that was pretty dope. I don't remember Prime having that, but that's what my research said. It said it's Prime and RID had that in their lore. It could have been in the comics. You know, they did put out some comics of those, but I'm not sure if it's the cartoon or the comics. I couldn't really find definitive answers on that. But the Energon universe had a comic where Clutch in the Energon universe took Hound to Matt Trakker, which is the leader of M.A.S.K, to be fixed. So there's, and also Matt Trakker has been a G.I. Joe figure before. So that little crossover, you know, they were teasing things. I thought that information was pretty dope. I didn't know that before I started researching this. Those instances are all I can find. They've never put out like toys that transformed. I think personally that would be, I don't know if that would be great. Like where they put out, I know people have asked for it. People want it. Some people want it. Me personally, I don't know if it makes sense to have the actual M.A.S.K vehicles. What makes the most sense is what they did, saying that it's derivative. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's canon or not, if it's considered canon or not. But the fact that they did the M.A.S.K is derived from Cybertronian technology. I think that is the best way to do it, and maybe come up with some other vehicles, maybe a couple of the M.A.S.K people, use Transformers or paired up with Transformers as they've done throughout the years, paired up with humans. Yeah, I think that's the best way that they should do it, and I think they should come out with a line, like maybe a line of new vehicles that do different stuff. Because everything that's coming out, basically, I know there's a few that, like the Great White never was a toy, which is the shark. I think that's what it's officially called. But I remember that was never a toy. That never came out in the 80s or whatever. So they did make that, but I mean making all new figures, vehicles that are included in M.A.S.K, but they're Transformers, but maybe they transform into just bases or something, cars and bases, because that was like what M.A.S.K was, like mobile command. So, you know, I don't know how much sense it would be for them to transform into robots, but again, you can have the pairing of the two, and if it's a big war or whatever, you trying to get things done, you need some Transformers. But that's the extent of the crossovers that I've found. If anybody else has any other information or found any more crossovers other than that, let me know. Because like I said, it's just research on the internet. Stuff is wrong. Stuff doesn't come up all the time, and could be just missed. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share if you found value in this. Hopefully I got some things coming to review. I haven't reviewed anything in a long time because I haven't gotten anything in a long time, because it's just not much out there that I need. So, but I do have Minosaur still on his way. I have Magic Square coming. Who knows when? I think it's in transit, but you know, it's coming from China, so it takes a minute. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.
You know, life ain't over. Life ain't over. Life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.